Alrighty, y'all, it's Jacob Cesaro here again. We're headed out to Turkey Woods this morning. It's April the 13th, 2025, Sunday morning. Just got back from Virginia last night, hunted there. Had some action with some birds. Had some jakes come in a few times, or they come in, we let them go, we passed them, and they come back in. They brought a big bird with them. He got away from us, slipped by, and slipped out of our reach. And anyhow, we visited with some family, and we went ahead and come on home yesterday evening, and now I'm headed out to hunt here at home. It's where we hunted last weekend on the youth hunt. I took my buddy's son. We seen some birds. I know there's three longbeards I was seeing over here last weekend. Due to my work schedule, I can't be over here scouting every day, listening, so I don't really know what the birds are doing. I know what they did last weekend, a little bit I got to hunt, so I think I'm gonna try to slip in to where we hunted the second morning last weekend. We seen the birds strutting out in the cutover, but we'll be where the birds went to kind of loaf around the first morning. So pretty good spot, kind of in the middle where everything's going on. So I'm gonna try to slip in there here in a minute and get sat down on one. All right, y'all, we just got slid in here where these birds were hanging out last weekend. It's a full moon night. It's starting to break light out here a little bit. So I'm gonna hit the owl hooter, see if we can't see where any of them are at this morning. He's in there, he's tight. He's within 50 yards of us right now. So we gotta be kind of still and quiet. He's gobbling his head off this morning, so we're gonna try to get him. I can't see this turkey yet. I don't know if there's a tree blocking him or what. But he's gotta be strutting on the limb, because I can just hear nothing but straight drumming. The only time he stops drumming is to gobble. And he is just gobbling his head off this morning. I just heard another bird, probably 300 or 400 yards to my right.
this cutout beside us. I've not heard any hens yet this morning, so I'm hoping this bird's off by himself. And he's gonna come right in this morning. I hope he's gonna come right into us this morning. That bird flew down about 10 minutes ago. He hadn't made a peep since. 5 seconds before he flew down, a hen that had not made a peep all morning and I hadn't seen. She flew down and landed about 80 to 100 yards out in front and to the left of me. And then he flew right to her, and he's been quiet ever since he hit the ground. So, I'm gonna hang in tight here. There's some other birds gobbling a few hundred yards away from us. But I'm gonna hang in here and hope them turkeys feed up this way, or maybe he'll get away from her somehow. We'll just wait it out. I'm just gonna lay in here. Just wait him out. He'll come back eventually.
That gobbler and that hen, I think they've eased off to a field. Been seeing turkeys in. Kind of mid-morning, afternoon, whatnot. That's the direction they seem to head off after they flew down. There's been another turkey back behind me gobbling his head off all morning. About he just gobbled. About the time they hit the ground, he started gobbling. And he's probably, I'm gonna say every bit of 500 yards. There's a tree line at a creek that goes through this cut down. It leads into a pasture. So I'm gonna try to go see if I can't cut some distance between me and him, and maybe see if he wants to play since this other one won't. So I'm gonna ease on down that way. Alright, y'all. I've moved about as far as I can move on that bird. I was hearing back behind me, and I'm thinking he was actually a little further than I was thinking. I think the sound was carrying, because I just called and I heard him gobble, and I'm thinking he's probably still 300 yards. And looking across here, the only really place he has to come across, I don't know if I'd be able to get him across there. And I have to be out of the woods by 9:30, being that it's Sunday. So I'm trying to make a decision if I want to try and work this bird, or if I want to go try and come in at a different angle from the first bird that we were set up on this morning, one that we were hunting off the roost. I feel like I got a better chance of working that bird, but there's a hen with him, so that's a concern. But this bird here, just looking at the terrain and the habitat, I don't know if I can get him to come across that far of what I'm gonna be asking him to come through. But he does seem to be the hotter bird right now. So I'm really kind of torn as to what I want to do here. I think I'm gonna give it a minute and I'm gonna listen, because I called twice at this bird and he gobbled. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, see if he sounds any closer, and if he does, maybe I'll set up on him. If not, I think we're gonna come in at a different angle, because we only have an hour and a half left to hunt. So I really need to be making a decision on what I'm gonna try to do here. So I'm gonna listen right quick. All right, I just moved around to the other side of the property. We're gonna try to come in at a different angle on these birds, or on that one bird that we set up on first thing this morning. Pretty sure I know the general area where him and that hen went, so I'm gonna try to ease in, just slip my way in, glass as I go in, and see if I can get some eyes on them, get into where I want to if I don't see them, and just sit down and kind of wait it out the last little bit this morning, and hopefully it pans out for us.
Just heard a gunshot, kind of in the direction where that bird that I tried to make a move on, the one that had been behind us, where we were sitting at our first location. Was. I'm not saying that bird was shot, but I definitely just heard a shot in that direction. But I'm a pretty good little ways away from that area now, so I'm having a hard time telling how far away it was, really. I'm easing through this pine thicket, skirting the edge of this pond, trying to get in the woods. It's kind of some big open hardwoods behind the green field. I feel like those two turkeys were headed to this morning, so I'm gonna try to slip in back in them hardwoods, on the edge of them hardwoods, just off the back side of the green field, and either catch them coming back, or if I can get eyes on them and kind of read their temperature, maybe I can call a hen to me, or maybe pull him my way a little bit. I think I'm gonna sit against that tree right there. We're only about 100, 125 yards off the back end of the green field. I can see it where it kind of tapers off into the woods, into this creek bottom. This is a narrow little finger of woods they have to come through to get back to the ridge where they were roosted this morning. Where they were roosted would be about 200 yards or so to the left of where I'm going to be sitting. So hopefully we can cut them off in here in this bottom, or call them over here to us.
All right, y'all, we're back out here at the truck now, packing in for this morning. If it wasn't Sunday and I didn't have to legally come out, I would be in that creek bottom still, working my way through that bottom, walking, calling as I go, scratching in the leaves, just watching and listening, trying to figure out, what these turkeys are doing exactly, and, kind of morph myself into their habitat for the day. Just immerse myself in there, I guess what I'm trying to say, and figure them out and get on one. So I'm going to head back to the house and eat some lunch and probably look at some of this footage from this morning, start editing, and then I'm going to come back out this evening, hopefully, if nothing changes. And probably going to try and slip in where that bird was roosted this morning and see if I can just get them this evening in there around their roost area. Not a big fan of evening hunting, but when you work as many hours as I do during the week, you really need to take advantage of the any opportunity on the weekend. So I think that's my game plan, and we'll head to the house, get something to eat.